Now, after your time as a fighter pilot at a Top Gun, you became a successful test pilot. Are you able to talk about any kind of difficult moments that you had as a test pilot?
You know, two things there. Top Gun, which of course was a fighter pilot school of, I think it was 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Really neat experience. And the movie, the movie's pretty darn good. So you get an idea. I actually went through the Top Gun school right after they made the movie, right before the first movie was released.
Oh,
Right after they made the first version. So it was a really neat school, really extremely professional, and those are the memories that I take away were how professional and the attention to detail that they had in instructing that course.
well, you
Um,
have to be very,
yeah,
very careful because I mean these are dangerous roles.
yeah, it was really neat to go through there. Um, I also had the opportunity a couple of years later to go through test pilot school. That's quite a different experience. Test pilot school is 1 year long and it's intense. It was the hardest I've ever worked over a year.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It was literally 6.5 days, 6.5 long days a week for a year.
Mm.
Um, but in that time, they teach you to look differently at flying and aircraft and to evaluate those aircraft. Even without any instruments, you can do a heck of an evaluation of an aircraft, both in performance and in handling. Um, they teach you all that stuff, all those basics, so that you can then serve a tour at the test center, actually flying new aircraft and testing modifications and new weapons and things like that. That was very rewarding to me, and as I mentioned, that was my first goal coming out of high school was to be
Really?
a test pilot, and it was well worth it and neat to have achieved that.
That sounds exciting, and the fact that you're saying that you had to work very, very hard at it. It's, I don't know, I gotta wonder, because we're gonna talk about your time as a space shuttle pilot, but do you feel like this really well prepared you to actually step into that role as a space shuttle pilot, or was it just like vastly different?
Oh no, it absolutely prepared me, and not only that, it made me eligible. All the space shuttle commanders and pilots had to be military test pilots. That was one of the requirements
Oh,
um,
okay. All
that you
right.
had to meet. So it was a a step that I had to take if I was ever going to get to astronaut. Um, and I hadn't thought a whole lot about astronaut at that point. I had, but I still didn't think I could ever make it until I saw one of my buddies filling out an application. One of my buddies in the test squadron, and I
Oh,
said, "What are you
okay.
doing?" And he said, "I'm applying to NASA." And I realized that I had completed all of the prerequisites to apply.
So you're like, why not? Yeah.
Yeah,
Just throw your hat in
yeah,
there.